What if everything you thought you knew about Usher, his fame, his legacy, his rise to R&B royalty, was hiding something far darker beneath the surface? What if the real story wasn't about platinum albums and sold-out tours, but about secrets, scandals, and a silence that's finally starting to break? Why did he suddenly wipe his entire Twitter history? Why are insiders saying his name is buried in legal documents tied to Diddy's unraveling empire? And what are the receipts his ex, Tamika Foster, is allegedly threatening to unleash? Receipts that could destroy not just a career, but an entire legacy. This isn't just another celebrity rumor, it's a ticking time bomb. From health claims to Hollywood cover-ups, we're diving into the story no one was supposed to tell. Stick around till the end, because once you hear everything, you'll never look at Usher or the industry the same way again. Grab your tea and a fire extinguisher, because the drama surrounding Usher just went from simmer to scorched earth. Apparently those innocent little storm clouds hanging over his reputation? Yeah, turns out they've been hiding a full-blown Category 5 mess. The latest whispers swirling around aren't just juicy, they're napalm. Allegedly, his ex-wife Tamika Foster decided to light a match and toss it right into the gas leak, claiming Usher's sexual health history is a walking, talking CDC case study. And no, we're not just rehashing the tired herpes headlines that have been haunting him for years like a bad chorus. This new list allegedly reads more like a medical horror story. But wait, the plot thickens. Because it wouldn't be Hollywood without some murky, eyebrow-raising backstory. Remember those suspiciously close ties between Usher and Diddy that made everyone raise a brow and clutch their drink? Well, the rumor mill is now spinning at full speed with claims that Usher wasn't just charming the ladies, he was allegedly dabbling in quite a few male entanglements too. And here's the kicker. Some of those encounters supposedly trace all the way back to his teenage years while he was living under Diddy's roof. Cozy, huh? Roll back the tape, and it all starts when little Usher was just a pint-sized powerhouse discovered by L.A. Reid, barely old enough to ride the big rides, let alone navigate the music industry. When puberty crashed the party and his golden voice started cracking, the label almost showed him the door. But instead of letting him go, Reid made what now looks like a very pivotal call. Spoiler alert, it's the kind of decision that seems to have unraveled into one hell of a twisted saga. Buckle up, because if you thought this ride was already off the rails, we're now swan diving straight into the abyss. When Usher moved into Diddy's world, he didn't just get a front row seat to the music industry, he basically checked into a VIP suite at the Debauchery Hotel. All expenses paid, no parental supervision required. This wasn't some wholesome mentorship, it was the peak of Diddy's anything goes party era. We're talking an unfiltered blur of women, booze, drugs, and the kind of after-hours activities that make Vegas look like a church picnic. Now, Usher's always kept that chapter zipped tighter than a Grammy ballot, but once, just once, he let something slip on Howard Stern. And while his words were vague enough to dodge a lawsuit, they hinted at scenes no child, let alone a 13-year-old, should have been anywhere near. Think curious things happening behind closed doors. The kind of curious that doesn't just raise eyebrows, it triggers alarms, sirens, and a whole FBI task force worth of questions. According to Usher, his parents were totally in the dark, because Diddy allegedly laid down the golden rule: what happens in Freaky Land stays in Freaky Land. And those rare moments Diddy actually did speak on it, like that now legendary clip where he casually drops that he and young Usher were sharing a bed. Yeah, the internet damn near exploded, and shockingly, not a single clear answer ever surfaced. Meanwhile, former bodyguard Gene Deal has been steadily stirring the pot, claiming Diddy's tastes weren't exactly limited to grown women, and that certain situations involved young men who had no business being there. But wait, it gets worse. Rumors have long swirled that Usher may have contracted herpes not in some messy adult entanglement, but during one of these infamous freak-off sessions at just 15 years old. Oh, and guess who supposedly knew? Kim Porter. Word is, she was planning to spill everything in a tell-all before her untimely and highly suspicious death. And here comes the final twist of the knife. If the gossip is even halfway true, Diddy wasn't the only one allegedly involved in these twisted soirees. The suggestion is that Usher may have been shared. Yes, shared among other high-profile men at these parties. And considering the guest list for these secret get-togethers allegedly reads like a Hollywood awards show roster, it's not hard to imagine that Usher walked away with more than just fame and a few catchy hits, but a legacy shrouded in silence, scandal, and scars. The Usher saga just keeps getting juicier and darker, like a scandalous soap opera that refuses to end. Only now it's in its final season, and everyone's secrets are about to hit the fan in 4K. Over the years, a parade of women have come forward, accusing Mr. Smooth Serenade himself of knowingly exposing them to herpes. Sans disclosure, of course. Because what's foreplay without a little legal liability, right? Some of these lawsuits vanished faster than a Vegas wedding annulment, like Laura Helm's $20 million claim that mysteriously disappeared with no real explanation. Naturally, that's had the rumor mill screaming, "Quiet payout," louder than an unpaid intern. Others, like Quantasia Sharpton's lawsuit, turned into a public circus, complete with denials, finger-pointing, and tabloid-fueled chaos. One Jane Doe even allegedly walked away with a $1.1 million settlement, while Usher played PR ninja and kept it all conveniently under the radar. And yet, miraculously, the man never missed a beat, still grinding on stage like nothing ever happened, silk shirt unbuttoned, fans swooning, lawsuits be damned. But plot twist. His ex, Tamika Foster, just threw a Molotov cocktail into that entire narrative with her new claims about multiple STDs. Suddenly, all those buried scandals are back with a vengeance. And the timing? Oh, it's chef's kiss suspicious. Just as the entertainment world is collectively losing sleep over who might get dragged down with Diddy, Usher decides it's the perfect moment to nuke his social media presence. No more thirst traps, no cryptic captions, just a full-on digital cleanse, which in Hollywood is code for lawyers are nervous. Insiders are whispering that this isn't just a case of bad press. Subpoenas are reportedly being prepped, NDAs are being unearthed like cursed artifacts, and legal teams are issuing gentle, "You might want to get ahead of this," warnings to clients whose names could surface, loudly. And here's the kicker. Usher's name isn't just being dropped in gossip circles. According to some sources, it's actually in documents. What kind of documents, you ask? That's still under wraps. Could be health-related, could be testimony, could be worse. And the real tragedy here, Usher spent years perfecting the image of the kid who survived the industry, plucked from obscurity, raised on the stage, and molded into an R&B legend. But if even a fraction of these whispers are true, the glow-up story starts to look a lot more like a cautionary tale. A teenager tossed into a toxic playground, taught all the wrong lessons about sex, silence, and power. And now, at long last, that silence, it might just be cracking wide open. Oh, now this is where the plot gets positively nuclear. Because it's not just whispers anymore. People who once kept their lips zipped tighter than a Grammy voting envelope are allegedly starting to talk. We're talking former assistants, ex-lovers, industry insiders, all supposedly comparing notes like survivors of the same dark chapter. And it's not just the scandal that has the industry sweating, it's the receipts, the emails, the texts, the NDAs with just enough loopholes to become landmines. Because if Tamika Foster's claims are even half accurate, we're not just facing another tabloid circus. We're staring down the potential unraveling of decades of dirty secrets. Whatever the reality, the timing is sus. The stories are stacking, the silence is deafening, and the digital cleanup job, absolutely screaming guilty conscience. One thing's for sure, whatever